Hello and welcome to this episode of Opinions Nobody Asked For. I'm going to be discussing a new system that I created that I'm going to put in place from today. It's called the four personal audits. My system of periodic personal audits. I know, surprise, who knew that you could actually start working on yourself outside of New Year's resolutions? Something I just discovered today. Shocker. Okay, so first of all, there's the annual audit, which is, your basics, your doctor's appointments and your dentist appointments. Like checking up, and your specialists, of course, like if you need to go to the gynae or whatever. But then there's also a review of your annual subscription. So this is what I'm doing now. It's like I've got a lot of these random debit orders that go off every year. And every year I'm surprised by it. Like, why am I surprised? I know that my UCount Standard Bank Rewards goes off in March. I know that my Google One extra storage goes off at this point, whatever. So I was never actually budgeting for those, and I actually script realizing how much goes off. So what I'm doing now is creating this annual budget, because it's every single year. And you include that with, your Mother's Days and your birthdays. So that's my new annual budget, and then for each month you check how much am I going to need this month for. Okay, so you know that May is Mother's Day, and it's also somebody's birthday, and then you have to put aside that month money, so that becomes your list of your annual budget, becomes the exceptions per month, and then you edit your new budget for that. So then you get the quarterly audit, which is like the things, like the clothes that you wear. So what am I wearing most often? What am I never really going to wear again? What do I need to, like donate or some cases like throw away? Like I've got so many socks with holes in them that like that. Nobody needs to be that holy, not even priests. So do I need new socks? Do I need new, and what the hell do I need? And then get rid of stuff that I'm not going to wear. Same with your, your skincare routine. Is it still working? Do you need to get new stuff? Is your skin getting too used to this? Do I need to review it? Same with your shampoo and your conditioner. Is it getting too used to it? Do I need to change it? Is there a new habit that I'm trying to introduce? So it takes 21 days to form a habit, and it takes a little longer for me. So I'm doing is I started doing 15-minute walk every day. And I'm not going to add a new habit until that becomes completely entrenched, because I will always do that. And I will say like, okay, first week I'm going to do 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add on 50 sit-ups, and then the week after that I'm going to do squats. And it never works out, because then you skip one day of doing all of those, and then you feel like, I'm a failure at life, and you plop on the couch with like a potato, and then you cry. So one habit every quarter. And the same with your behavior. Like if you're unhappy with the behavior, don't try to change it all at once. Just once a quarter. That's what I'm doing. And then I'm questioning my goals quarterly. So that's like, am I still on track with what I want to achieve in life? Am I where I want to be? And what do I want out of life? Like complete refresh, but every quarter. Do I need to negotiate a higher salary? Do I need to leave my job? Do I need to get a new job? Do I need to sign up for short courses? Do I need to completely quit my job and start a business selling compliments? Whatever, like reevaluate where I am, and if I'm not happy, I will figure out a plan to get to where I need to be. Then the other thing I will review quarterly is people. And it sounds very callous, but like you need to know who builds you up and who drains you. And that's not to say that you must cut off the people that are draining you. It's just like maybe don't give as much attention to them. Like don't go out of your way like you would, because often we will reward the most toxic people in our lives, either out of obligation, or because they reach out first, or simply because they are the closest. And then we don't have time to see other people. So once every 3 months, I will take a look at, when last did I, who am I spending my time with, and then try to reward the people that I know build me up. So I will be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen my sister in 3 months. Or when last did I have breakfast with Chanel? Or when last did I watch a movie with JD? Or go have sushi with Virne? When last did I send a flow joke to Novi? When last did I WhatsApp Jode? Etc, etc, etc. But I only have so much social energy, so I will literally go years without speaking to you, and I will still consider you one of my tightest friends. And then I'll just call you up 5 years later. I'll be like, oh Ronnie, yo, brah, you always make me smile. How are you doing? So if I haven't reached out to you, doesn't mean I've forgotten you. Just I'll chat to you in 2040. And then I've got the monthly audit, which is now the usual budget. So budget. And what I'm trying to do now is get a financial advisor who can keep me on track with my goals. I'm sure it's going to be worth it compared to just floundering around my own. And if they're too expensive for once a month, I'll add it rather to the quarterly review or the annual review. But I think that this is vital, something to help me keep track of my short-term, medium-term goals, my savings, my retirements, my whatever, and my investments, which I sometimes am too lazy to really research. And then the other thing on the monthly audit is the media that I consume. So if you are like me and you get really influenced by media, you should maybe do this too. Like, I will block certain content on social media monthly so that my algorithm can get reviewed a little bit. I'll also edit like the news subscriptions and the emails that I receive. So for example, I used to love reading Daily Maverick only, but sometimes their tone is so sarcastic that it actually just like sits in my body. So I took a break from them for a while. Currently I'm just reading headlines because I am not in the right space to deep dive into content about war and economics that is going to make me sad and angry. There's other content also. So usually when I'm depressed, I will rewatch my comfort shows, or I will go down a rabbit hole of anime because I know it'll make me feel good. But no matter how critically acclaimed a film is, if a movie is too dark, I don't want to watch it. I'll have my list of books and movies and series to watch, or to read. And I will review it once a month and say, okay, I'm in the right headspace now to try to watch this movie where I know that there's a rape scene that's going to make me upset for the full month. And if I'm not in the right space, I'm not going to force myself to watch something that is going to upset me or influence my mood just so I can, know what everybody else is talking about. And then I've got the weekly audit. And weekly, okay, if you can, weekly. Therapy. This is South Africa, people. It's bad. If you have suffered from trauma, if you have childhood resentment, if you struggle to change your own behavior, if you have been depressed or anxious for more than 10 days in a month, get yourself a therapist. Keep track of your moods. So I keep track of my moods like intensely. Like, this is my mood checker. So keep track of your moods. If you don't feel like you need a clinical psychologist, still get yourself a life coach. Those people are really helpful. Even if your workplace has things like iCast available, but it's still up to you to use the things that are available, even if it's free in your workplace. So I work in violence, so I've experienced a lot of personal trauma and indirect traumatization through my work. And I had to go see a trauma counselor, but 15 sessions later I almost felt back to normal. But when I still felt like I no longer had huge issues to deal with, I still got myself a life coach to help me keep accountable to some of the decisions that I've made, to talk through some of the things that I struggle with. So get rid of the stigma and get yourself a therapist. I know what you're thinking. I can't afford a financial advisor, and I can't afford a therapist, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling you, you're lying. You're lying. I said the same thing. So I'm actually scaling myself out, so don't get defensive. But I mean, like, once I stopped smoking, I was saving 1,000 Rand a month. My trauma counselor cost 500 Rand a session. 500 Rand every 2 months. I could spend 300 Rand a week on meat and beer for the braai on a Friday. Or fish parcels, or snacks, or haircuts, getting your nails done. Grow that afro for 3 months. Let your ends get split. I was looking good on the outside and feeling like crap on the inside. If you can find money for your vices, you can find money to sort yourself out internally. And also weekly, relax. If you reach the end of the week and you haven't taken 3 deep breaths, or had a bath, or journaled, or deep conditioned your hair, or whatever you need to treat yourself, do something once a week. Also, what I'm trying to do now is I do a weekly trip to the grocery store. So we have to get everything that we need for that week on that Sunday. And if we run out of food, then it's, we're bad planning. We're just going to have to eat, peanut butter or, whatever random things are lying on the side. But you also have to set up a reward for consistency. And this is something that I found works for everything, not just for this. You can't only punish yourself. So if you're trying to change your behavior or you're trying to stay disciplined, you need positive reinforcement. Punishment is not necessarily going to help. So we used to say things like, oh, if I buy snacks outside of Sunday, then I'm not allowed to snack for the rest of the month. But that's punishment. So instead we'll say, if you can stick to this, going only to the stores on Sunday thing, then at the end of the month, I will cook all of our meals for 1 week. Because Brent and I, we share cooking duties, and he's really excited to have me cooking for a full week without having to do anything. So we'll see, the snack game is strong. And then lastly is a budget review. So I don't know about you guys, but I have this problem often. So often we set the budget and then we relax, and we don't look at it until the end of the month again. But the junk thing is, the minute I overspend, I end up feeling like, oh well, there goes the budget, and I end up spiraling and cry. So this way, if I check up on the budget weekly, then I can re-budget, and maybe I have to cancel my dinner plans and just go for coffee. Or we can't do dinner and a movie for date night, we can only do one of those. So rethinking and re-looking and keeping track of where you're going, so you already know where you want to go, but then reevaluate where you are, so that you don't feel like, I lost now and now I lost all my progress. No, you just keep going. It's the same way when I tried to quit smoking. Yeah, you go like 2 months without a cigarette and you have one, and then you say, oh no, I'm a smoker. No, you're not. You're not a smoker anymore. You quit for 2 months. That doesn't mean you have to start smoking now again and then restart quitting. You had your one, oh, it was a moment of weakness, I'm still a non-smoker, I'll just continue quitting. Feeling guilty, allowing that to come in, it doesn't have an impact or anything. So anyway, so those are my audits. I talked a lot now and I talked really fast, but anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I don't really care if it was helpful to you or not, because it was mostly for me to get my thoughts out. But if you liked it, yay! And if you have any other systems in place, let me know. I'm always keen to incorporate other ideas. And that's the tip.